y'all? So I haven't been on here. I haven't been on here in a minute, and I have an updated makeup routine for you. It's super easy to follow along. I'm gonna be telling you all the products that I use, and just follow along with me. So grab your beauty blenders, your brushes, your foundation, your concealers, your contour stick. You're gonna need a powder puff. You're gonna need your setting sprays, your lipstick, your lip liner, eyeliner, eyeshadow. I'm trying to see if I can name everything before the video. That way you have everything, but I'll list it down in the description box, everything that I use. So what you can do is check the description box before you start this video, get all your tools, and then sit down and we can do it together. First, I've already prepped my skin. I washed my face, and then I also toned, and then I put the snail mucin on. That's all I have on my face right now, nothing else. First thing that I do are my brows, always. But before I do that, I do want to add a little bit of the Glow Recipe toner to just hydrate my face a little bit more before we get everything going. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that all over my face. This is almost like empty. I'm gonna need to get another one, but I really like this underneath my makeup. I really, really love this. So while this dries on my skin, I'm going to do my brows. What I use for my brows is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer and Brow Wiz. If I can find my Brow Wiz. Here's my Brow Wiz. So this is like a mini version that I got as a gift with purchase. So a brow definer in dark brown, and I use the Brow Wiz as well. And what I'm just going to do now is brush my brows up. You don't have to use one of these pencils. You can use any pencil that you like from the drugstore. These are just the ones that I prefer. So I'm just gonna go underneath my eyebrow here, very lightly, and just kind of like follow the shape of my brow. You can already see it forming there. And just fill my brows in, or just make them a shape. So see there, it's shaped compared to this one. You can see the difference. Then I just shape the other one. I always do my brows first because I just feel like the brows just make your whole face. That's why I do it first. And then also I do it first because when you get to like touching your face and doing all of this, I don't know, I just feel like it messes up if you're doing all of that, if you've already applied the rest of your face on while you're doing your eyes. So I always do my eyes first, and that's why. It's okay if you mess up, because we're gonna conceal the brows and clean them up after I do this. So what I like to do now, after I've already like created the shape, kinda, I just brush it in, brush the color in. You can always make it darker at the end, but I just like to do this for now because I don't want it too dark. And then I use my brow definer, and I start at the tail of my brow, and that's where I start to darken. And this is in dark brown. So I just do like that. It doesn't look perfect, but like I said, this is a trust the process kind of makeup routine. And I don't go like right here. I kind of leave this space like shaded like that because I like the way that that looks. So I do the same thing with this brow, just do the end. And I kind of like stop right there. Add a little bit more. I'm just gonna add a little bit more to the front to shape it just a tad more. I don't know if that made a difference, but this is real-time makeup routine. This is like what I really go through. So next you're gonna grab your concealer. I like to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, my tried and true. You can get that at the beauty supply store. I think it's still like $3 if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, it's still like $3 or so. So I use the color Cool Tan, and then I use a flat brush to conceal my brows. So this is what the brush looks like. It's a flat brush, and the number is a M410 brush from Morphe. I believe you can still get these in Ulta or online. And I just do like this. And we're going to clean up the brows. So I just get it on both sides. And then I just go underneath my brow like this. So I kind of lift my brows up, that way I can get as straight of a line as possible. And you'll see why I do my eyes first, when I get to touching and moving things. So kind of just follow the shape that you created. And look at how that looks. I mean, I didn't blend out the concealer, but like, period. Like, can you see the difference? Okay, now I used all the products there. What I'm gonna do is just blend this up. That way it doesn't dry like that, because then it'll be harder to like move around. So just blend it out, that concealer, because we're gonna put products there anyways, but just blend it up. Blend it upwards. Underneath, right here, you can just blend it down. I have a lot of blemishes right now, a lot of breakouts, so I'm just gonna blend it into my blemishes to cover them up just a tad. Now for the other brow, so just again, I just coat both sides of my flat brush with this concealer. And we're gonna do, this is totally like beginner friendly, like I'm going, this is like real time, like slow, follow step by step. The way that I learned how to do makeup is by watching the same person do their makeup all the time. Her name is Miss Fenty Vegas. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, on Instagram, but she used to do makeup tutorials on Snapchat. I remember when she had a Snapchat, she used to do tutorials, and I would watch her do her makeup all the time, and I would follow along just like this. And so, I don't know, I think the key is to find someone whose technique you like and whose makeup you like, and try to replicate that. Try to follow along with the steps, not necessarily the products, but the steps and the technique that they're using. Find someone that you like their technique that's easy enough for you to follow along, and just watch them all the time. And then you can tweak things to your liking. That's what I did. So some of the things that I do now, I think I pretty much learned from her. Just like this off of YouTube. So I'm just gonna blend this down. Look at that, look at, I know they look kind of thick right now. I think this brow looks darker than this brow, but I can fix it. So just blend that out. So now what you can do is you can get your brow glue. This is the NYX brow glue, and you can just apply that to your brows. If you like that way that they're looking as they are right now, just go ahead and apply your brow glue. If not, go back in with your brow wiz, your brow definer, your brow pencil, and darken them, fix them a little bit before you add your brow glue. I know a lot of people use Got2b glue. They have something that they sell for brows as well. So before you add that, just fix up anything. So I kind of like darken them to make them even a little bit. So I'm gonna apply my brow glue directly to my brows in the way that the hairs go, like so. And then we're gonna move on to our eyes. So get ready, grab your concealers, grab your eyeshadow brushes. We're gonna move on to our eyes next. The eyeshadow palette I'm gonna be using is this Jaclyn Hill palette, just because it's in my reach. This is just kind of what I do if I'm just like running out to brunch. So, grab your concealer. The concealer I'm gonna be using is gonna be my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the color Medium Honey. I'm just gonna apply that directly here to my lid, like so. And then I'm gonna blend that out. This concealer is a little bit drying. It dries really fast. So if you don't dry it quick, it'll leave a mark, it'll stay there. So you kind of have to work fast with this one. Quickly. Apply that all over your lid. And this is what I'm gonna use as the base of my eyeshadow. It's okay if it gets a little bit down there, don't worry. Just use your beauty blender and blend that out. There we go. Sometimes you can take a powder puff and add a little bit of setting powder to set that concealer. I have a little bit of product, I guess, left on this powder puff. But like I said, this concealer is a little bit drying, so I normally don't do that. If you use the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and you bring that all the way down, you probably might need to set that because it's a little bit more tacky and wet. It doesn't dry down fully all the way. So you can use that concealer as your base as well. I just prefer to use the Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm gonna be using the Jaclyn Hill palette to do my eyes, and I think I'm just pretty much gonna work with 3 colors. I'm just gonna do like a little brownie look. So all over my lid, I'm gonna go in with Puder and just throw my brush in there and just apply that directly to my lid. It's gonna be a little bit under my brow bone, and I'm just gonna go in like circular motions to apply that color and build it up. The brush I'm using is a Morphe brush. Oh, it doesn't have a number on here, but it's a Morphe blending brush. So let's just build that color up as much as you like until you're satisfied with the way that it looks. This is going to be our transition shade. Then we're going to use a shade in our crease. So right underneath your brow bone is where you're going to place this shadow. Puder. If you don't have this eyeshadow palette, just use something that you have. This is what the color looks like. I don't know if you can see it on camera. On my skin tone, it looks a little bit more like, it's a little warmer, like a warm brown. So I'm using 3 colors. I'm gonna use like a lighter brown, then a darker brown, and then a light color like what you can see is already there from the concealer on my eyelid. So if you have colors like those, you can totally do this. You don't need this exact palette. And you probably only need 3 eyeshadow brushes for this as well. So you don't need a ton of stuff. In the last video I made about makeup, there was a brand that I wanted to mention that has really good brushes that are affordable, and it's BH Cosmetics. I was talking about this brush right here. This is my blush brush, and I could not remember it for the life of me in my last video, but that's the name. I don't know if they still, as a matter of fact, let me check. Do they still have a website? I haven't bought brushes from them in a minute. BH Cosmetics. Ah, yeah, they do. Period. So BH Cosmetics has a lot good quality brushes that I like that are affordable. I don't know if they still sell brushes though. What is this? Let me see. Yeah, they do. Brush sets. That brush I just showed you was from a brush set that I purchased from them. If you are just starting out your makeup kit, one of those brush sets right there will be good for you. Like I'm looking right now and there's like a 12-piece brush set on there for like $28. They have like a buy 2 get 1 free deal right now. This is not an ad, by the way. I just like the brushes, and I think that they were pretty affordable at the time. They still seem affordable to me. 12 brushes for $28, that's like super affordable. Do your cost per use, girl. Do your girl math. That's like $2.33 per brush. I think that's pretty affordable. Because I think if you go to Morphe and you get this one brush, it's like, I don't know, $5? Who knows? Okay, the next brush I'm gonna be using is my Sigma E45 brush. It's a small tapered blending brush. I'm gonna use the color Mocha. I'm gonna use that color right here in my crease. And I'm not gonna go all the way in, or I might. Just follow me. So get Mocha. I tap it in here lightly. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Dust it off on the side and just like So the way that I find my crease is like this. It's right under your brow bone. So you feel that bone right there. You can feel it, like, I can feel it, and you can like dig in there. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but my crease is right there, and that's where I'm going to place this color, Mocha. And windshield wiper motions back and forth in the crease. You can bring it out on the outer V of your eye just a little bit. And like, look how cute that looks. This is just like a daytime, like brunch look. I don't know, you can make it nighttime too if you want to go like a little darker on the colors. I tend to feel like all my makeup looks you can pretty much do day or night. Just darken them up, add more color, yada yada. And that's it. That's it for the eyes, because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna use the color MFEO, whatever that means, from this palette. It's like a light peachy color, this color right here. And I'm gonna apply that to my lid, like this. Just tap it in. And this is like an all matte eye look. Look at that. I don't know if you could, I hope you can like see it on the camera, because I think it looks so cute here in person. Okay, that's it for the eyes. If you want, at the end, we can go back in with our brushes, darken things up, make them pop a little bit more. But like I said, this is just like an everyday kind of vibes. The brush I'm using is that first brush with Puder. And I'm just blending everything one more time. The next thing I'm gonna grab is an eyeliner. This is by MAC, and it's an kohl, and it's Feline. I'm going to add this to my lash line and just darken it just a bit, because that's where I'm gonna place my lashes. I just feel like it's easier to do that, to make your lash strips blend, if you do this first. So just go ahead, grab an eye pencil, a black one. You can also use dark brown, and add that to your lash line. Just like that. Grab your lashes. The lashes I'm gonna be using, they're linked in my Amazon storefront. I just honestly buy any lashes off Amazon that I think would look cute. And sometimes they look cute, sometimes they don't. But I've used these like 8 times already. So I'm gonna reapply these lashes. Your duo lash glue, and we're just gonna apply some duo straight to the lash. And I need to buy another one of these duo lash glues as a backup, because I don't know how I let them get so gross. Apply it directly to the lash, and we just do this one by one. So I have a little fan here. You can blow on yours. This is just to speed up the process a little bit, so it gets just a tad bit tacky. It makes it easier to stick to your eyelid. Ooh. So just close your eye, not all the way, but like look down. Apply the lash in the middle first, and then you're gonna fix the outer corner, and then adjust the inner corner of the lash. And look at that, the lash is on. You're just gonna press it onto your eyelid a little bit so that it sticks, because it's not fully dry yet. But look at how quick I applied that lash. Okay, I'm gonna apply the other one. I used these lashes and I forgot to like clean them, like take the old glue off, so I'm doing that now. Don't be like me. Or you can just use new lashes. I've already clipped these lashes to fit the shape of my eye. So if you do have like lash strips, make sure you measure them first to make sure that they fit the shape of your eye, and clip them if necessary. Always clip I always clip the outer corners. I don't know, some people like to clip the inner corners, but I clip the outer corner because it just looks weird to me if you clip the inner corners, because it's like the lashes are kind of tapered. So if you clip the inner corner, you're clipping off the shortest part, then you're just gonna have like one length of lashes, you know what I mean? So apply the glue again to the lash, directly to the lash. Let it dry a little bit. With this lash glue, it gets a little, it applies on white, it dries clear, but then when it's ready to be applied to your eye, you can see that it turns a little bluish. So that's when you know it's ready for you to put it on your eye. The next thing you're gonna be grabbing is your concealers. We're getting ready to do our face. I know that the eye seems like it takes a lot of time, but I do take my time on this part just because it makes your whole face. Like the face is quick, in my opinion. The eyes just take forever, especially if you don't have lash extensions. Apply the middle, then adjust the end, then stick the inner corner on. Boom. Look at, I'm like literally a pro at this eyelash thing. Now you can like dry the lashes. Make sure they're on good. This one's not on good. So just like push it onto your lash line. Get it as close as possible. You don't want it poking you in the eye or anything though. So, 'cause that will be uncomfortable if you're going somewhere and you're feeling your eyelash poke you. I said we're gonna grab a concealer, but I just remembered something. We need to hide this lash strip. So we're gonna use a black gel eyeliner. This is gonna be my NYX vinyl eyeliner, liquid eyeliner I mean, it's not gel. And I'm gonna just conceal, like draw a line over the lash strip. That way it looks more seamless. Make sure you do this after you already dry your lashes on though, because this is another product you're mixing with the glue. You don't want your lashes to fly off wherever you're going. So I think mine are dry. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw a line straight across there. I touched the top of the lashes to make sure I didn't get any liner there. I gotta fix this inner corner. There we go. Make sure this other side's dry. It is, and so. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Make sure you dry that down because you don't want that black to mess up what we're about to do next. What I'm about to grab next is my contour stick and my concealers. That way we can get started on the face. This is the part that's really like different in the routine than what I normally do before, than what I normally do or what I did before in my last video. Now that we've applied our eyes, we're going to start on the face. We're gonna start our base. I'm using Fenty Beauty Match Sticks in the color Espresso and a medium tan neutral in my Tarte Shape Tape. I totally forgot that you need to prime your face. I've already done like my skincare routine, but I didn't add any primer. I'm gonna be using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I'm going to speed this up, I'm going to use a fan to dry it. You want your primer to be not wet like this as soon as you apply it. It needs to dry down a bit. So apply that to your forehead, bridge of your nose, the crease of your nose, wherever you know that you crease. Apply that all over your face. I applied a little bit too much just then. You don't have to apply as much as me. I think one pump, or two, yeah, that would be enough. You can also use e.l.f.'s Power Grip Primer. I like that one as well. It's similar to the Milk Hydro Grip. I'm gonna speed this up. I'm just gonna use my fan to like dry this a little bit. And we're gonna contour. You're gonna use your contour stick. Another contour stick that you can use, you can find this in Ulta, and this is not in the prestige section. You can get this one, and this is by Black Opal. This color is Carob, and sometimes I use this to contour as well. So this is another one, and this is more affordable than the Fenty Beauty Matchstick. Another concealer that you can use that's affordable is that Maybelline Fit Me concealer, like this one. You can get this at Walgreens or the drugstore. And that is also not in the prestige section. I know that in Ulta you can use like that $3.50 coupon that they have, or whatever coupon they have on the website, on these products. So if you don't have the Tarte Shape Tape or Fenty, those are other things that you can use. The foundation I'm gonna be using Nars today. But like I said, you don't have to use those. You can always substitute. The foundation that I really like to use before I started using that is my CoverGirl True Match, and I don't know where she is. I think I finished it, but I need to get a new one. And that foundation, perfection. So let's go. So we're feeling kind of dry. My forehead will catch up. So what I like to do is I like to use this Sephora foundation brush. It's number 47. It's a pro foundation brush. I don't know if they carry this still, but I'm gonna put it on the brush here, and I'm gonna go directly underneath, not underneath, but literally right above my cheekbone with this. Press it in. You can see. I'm gonna do this right above both my cheekbones, blend it up. Side of my temples, on my forehead, a little bit, brush it into my hair a little bit, but don't worry, it's gonna look crazy, but everything will come together. With this now, I'm just gonna go directly under mine. Just like that. Use the brush and blend it out. Before we do any more contouring, put the contour stick down and the brush down, and we're gonna apply our concealer. So this is like a few shades lighter than my foundation shade, and I'm just gonna apply that right underneath my eye like this. Like I said, this concealer dries pretty quickly, so I'm not gonna let it sit for too long. Especially not in these areas, because for some reason in my forehead and on my chin, it dries quicker there. So I'm gonna blend this out fairly quickly. And then I'll go back to blend out my eyes. So let's add this to your nose. You can also use a brush for that. I don't know, where's my brush? A blending brush and just blend it out. Brush it up in towards your eyeshadow crease. This brush is also from Wet n Wild. This is a blending brush that I got at Walgreens. So blend that out as best as you can. And then get your beauty blender and just blend out that concealer you put on your forehead and on your chin. You can let the eyes set a little bit more. In the meantime, while that is setting, just go in with your contour brush and just make sure you're all good and blend it out there. We still have more blending to do, so I know it's looking crazy, but Trust me, it'll all come together. I forgot to apply this to the bridge of my nose. Just in between those two lines where you contoured, apply your concealer to the bridge of your nose, just like that, straight line. I think now is a good time to grab your beauty blender and blend out your eyes. So just use tapping motions and press the concealer into your skin. Try to bring it on the side of your nose. And I bring it up a little bit into my temples. Whatever's left on the sponge, I bring it underneath my contour. And yes, I do one eye at a time. See? Bring it down the side of the nose. And just up to your temples, like so. Just bounce the beauty blender back and forth until it's all smooth. For me, I don't like to bring it right underneath my eye because that's where my eye like naturally creases. I'm gonna put eyeshadow there later. And so that's why I'm not bringing it right up under my eye. Whatever's left on the sponge, I bring it under here, underneath the contour. And just carve that out a little bit. Bring whatever's left on the sponge to your forehead and your chin. And then we can blend out the nose. Use the bottom of your beauty blender and blend that line upwards. Just try to keep it in place. So I'm kind of like squeezing the tip of my beauty blender so that I can get a line. You can kind of feel like things are disappearing, but you can still see the contour. You can still see where I've applied the highlight and the concealer. So everything's pretty much blended out now. The next thing we're gonna apply is our blush. And I'm gonna use a liquid blush. This one's by Rare Beauty in the color Love. And I'm gonna apply that in between my contour and the concealer, the highlighting concealer. And I'm gonna apply that on my temples just because I like the way that looks. And I'm gonna bring it downwards. So I'm gonna apply it here. So 1, 2, 3. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. And you can apply more later. Get a fluffy blending, like a fluffy, what do you call it? A fluffy blush brush. And just blend that out into your cheeks. I know it looks crazy right now, but I promise you it'll come together. Just keep on keeping on. Trust the process, y'all. I know it looks crazy, but you gotta trust it. So I'm not taking this like too far up into my concealer, but it does cover it a little bit just because I like the way that the placement looks on me. If you don't like it, you're more than welcome to bring your blush a little bit more here on the apples of your cheeks. It really depends on the shape of your face. Like I said, this is the way that I learned to do makeup is just by watching the same person. I like their technique and I just kept practicing. I kept following along. So I'm just using my beauty blender and going over everything once more because now I'm going to grab my foundation. I'm gonna be using the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, and I'm only gonna be using a little bit. I'm gonna apply it to my foundation brush. And this is before we set anything. 3 pumps. And all the places where I didn't place product, that's where I'm going to focus my foundation. So I didn't place product here. I didn't place product around my mouth. Around my forehead has no product. So that's where I'm really gonna focus it, but we are going to blend everything together. So just apply it. And I'm kind of using like a stippling motion. I'm probably gonna have to clean my earrings off. Apply more foundation as you need, as far as like how you like your coverage. I like to go over my chin just a little bit because I don't like it to look too white there. But all the places where I didn't place product is where I'm focusing this foundation mostly. Now that I've kind of blended everything, I'm gonna go over with the foundation brush with no additional product and kind of blend in my nose, blend that contour, blend that blush in with the concealer, and it can kind of feel like you're taking things away, but trust me, you're not. Everything is still there and you can see it peeking through. This is gonna give you like that more everyday kind of quick glam look. It's not too much, it's just right. Okay, so I like the way that that looks right now. Bring it under here just to make sure the contour is blended a little bit as well. I like the way that that looks. The only thing is I like to have my eyes a little bit brighter. So I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape again, and I'm gonna use the color, what color am I using? I'm gonna use a little bit of Medium Honey, and I'm gonna put it right here in the corner of my eye. Just a little bit, so that much. That much. And I'm gonna blend it out right away. I'm not gonna let it sit. So I'm gonna just leave it right there in the inner corner of my eye. Next, what you're gonna wanna grab is you're gonna wanna grab a powder puff that looks like this, because we're gonna set our under eyes and set the rest of our face. The setting powder I'm going to be using is a Laura Mercier setting powder, translucent loose setting powder. I'm going to use that to set underneath my eyes. And I'm also going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder to set underneath my eyes. And I'm going to be using whatever's left on the sponge, I'm just going to go down my nose real quick. Underneath the contour. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I'm going to set underneath my eyes real quick. Really work that in there. Press it in the back of your hand and then set your under eye immediately. Press it in. And it just gives you that nice blurring effect. Like, can you see the difference on my eyes? Before I set this one, I'm just gonna make sure it's well blended. And set it right away. Press that powder into your under eye. Make sure you press it in nicely. There we go. I can also take this up the bridge of my nose, chin, forehead. You can just take this, actually you can just take this all over your face at this point, because now we're setting whatever's left on, no additional product. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be contouring with powder. Now basically what we're doing is going over everything again and setting everything into place with powders. We used liquid products first, now we're going to go in with powders. What I'm going to be using now is Fenty Sun Stalk'r and Coco Naughty, and that's going to be my contour shade. I'm using this e.l.f. brush to do this. It looks dingy, but it's my favorite contour and bronzer brush. So I'm just gonna go right over where I placed that contour. You can still see it peeking through. I'm sure that you can see it peeking through. Because I can. I mean, you probably need a little bit more practice, but just don't worry. If you can't see it peeking through, that's why we're using powder, to like make it pop. So wherever we place that Fenty matchstick, I'm sorry, in espresso, that's where I'm putting some stalk'r. Just to make everything pop just a little more. Okay, I'm gonna be using a eyeshadow brush to add that to my nose, contour my nose a little bit. I'm using a very light hand because you don't want to do too much. Lightly and into your eyeshadow. I like the way that looks. Moving on, you're gonna grab your blush brush. I'm gonna be using my BH Cosmetics blush brush, and I'm gonna be using Peaches by MAC. And I'm gonna apply that to my, but actually no. See, forgot something. Before I apply blush, I like to set my under eye with the Laura Mercier setting powder. See, this is like real-time vibes. I forget what I'm doing. So go in with your powder puff. You can use the same one or a new one. It depends on how your colors are looking. I'm using a different one. I have like tons over here. Press it on the back of your hand because you want like a smooth application, and put it right underneath your eye. Don't put it in your crease because then you're gonna see more creasing. Just like a light amount there. Press it on the back of your hand. Take it underneath your eye and up the bridge of your nose, your chin, underneath your contour a little bit. Whatever's left on, you don't have to add any additional. Now I'm gonna apply my blush while that sits on my face. I don't know why, but for some reason I already have product on my brush. For some reason, I like to do this because it just looks better while this is sitting and I'm doing the rest of my face. It lasts longer, so. I know that you're brushing some away because I'm brushing some away, but that's okay. You don't want powder to sit there anyways because then it starts to look powdery and cakey, and you don't want that. So Peaches by MAC, right over the blush that we put there from Rare Beauty. This is my favorite blush. Oh my god, I love it so much. I just can't stop using it. Probably seen me use this in all my other videos. Just put a little bit on my nails because I love the way that that looks, period. Put a little bit up here. And see, everything is looking good, guys. It's not looking crazy. I use my blush brush to kind of brush away some of that setting powder. Now I'm gonna go back in with this contour brush and I'm gonna bronze. So in between the blush and the contour, I'm adding bronzer in there. And I'm adding that to the perimeters of my face and my cheeks. So this is from Bakerie. The other bronzer that I really used to like is Sun Power by MAC, but they freaking discontinued that color. So I have to find, maybe I'll have to look into Fenty Beauty, look for another orangey shade that I like and see if I find one that's similar because this one is hitting pan and I'm gonna be so sad when it's done. Okay, anyways, so in between, add the bronzer color and just look at that. Use the same brush that you used for your contour contour powder, not the brush that you used for the liquid version, for the stick. Add that to the perimeters of your face, just to bring some warmth back to your face. This is in the color I Don't Give a Sip. I like to, now that I used it all on the brush, I like to bring this up my nose. And I like to bring it on my chin and under my contour, just to like bronze it up. I really like the way that looks. Just so that everything doesn't look too ghostly. Everything's looking good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a fluffy foundation brush, and I'm gonna be using Sephora Micro Smooth powder, and I'm going to kind of dust that all over my face, and that is the gist of our makeup routine. I just like to have everything blended together. If you don't like the way that something is looking, go ahead and fix it, take a good look. Kind of like dust away that powder. The very last thing that I'm gonna do now is grab a flat eyeshadow brush, kind of like this maybe. And I'm going to shadow my waterline. And so what I like to do is use an eye kohl. This is gonna be an eye kohl by MAC. It's in Costa Riche. And I'm going to go ahead and line the bottom of my eye, and then I'm gonna add shadow. This is like a brown, like a cool tone brown. I guess you can say it's warm. Any brown eyeliner will do for this. So I'm just lining. It's not in my waterline, it's literally right below my waterline where I'm taking this. And I'm getting this angled brush, and I'm gonna go back in my eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go into the color Puder, which is what we used earlier on our eyes, and I'm gonna put it underneath and blend that out. Blend the Costa Riche Puder together underneath your eye, and look at that. Yeah, I like the way that looks, so let's move on. Perfect. Now we can add a little bit of highlighter, and then we can set our face. I'm gonna be using, yet again, a discontinued highlighter. You can use a glow kit. I have it here somewhere. I just don't feel like finding it right now. But I'm gonna use a fan brush, and I'm gonna apply highlighter right here above my blush. Oh, it's just so cute. Look. Right here, tip of my nose, go down the bridge of my nose. I like to put some here on my forehead. This is just so cute. Love that. You can also put some in the corner of your eyes if you like a little jazz there. Just get a little brush and put some right there in the corner of your eyes and bring it up. Bring it up into your shadow like this. Cute. Cute. Okay. Costa Riche is an eye kohl, but sometimes I like to use it on my lips. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just coloring my beauty mark that I covered with makeup. Make sure it's sharp though. Mine was already sharp. So get a brown liner, lip liner, eyeliner, whatever. And just line your lips. And the reason why I'm using this is because I used it on my eyes. It just makes everything look more cohesive. So I am overlining just a little bit. And I'm following the natural shape of my lips. Yeah, it is super important to have this sharp so that you don't mess up the line. You can blend it together by just rubbing your lips together like so. The lipstick I'm gonna be using is by MAC, and this is Velvet Teddy. Actually, no, not Velvet Teddy. Teddy 2.0. I also have Velvet Teddy, which I love, but this is more of a powder matte. So perfect. Just like that. And now we're gonna drench our face in the MAC's Prep and Prime. And just make sure before you spray, you check everything. You like the way that everything looks. Check your brows. Make sure you like the way that your brows are looking, because you've put a lot of makeup on since we did our brows, right? So we just want to make sure we're liking the way that it looks. So for me, I'm just gonna draw a little bit of lines there real quick. Yeah. Some light strokes. Brush it in. Yeah, yeah, See, that's why it's important to just go back and check. You see? I like a lot of blush too, so I can even go in with my blush again and just put a little bit more. So cute. Just put a little bit more. Put a little bit more of everything if you like. Just to make everything shine through and pop. Highlight, because I just put that blush there. And at the end we put mascara because we don't want to wet our mascara. So now we can drench our face. I'm not over exaggerating when I say drench, like get it wet. I have a fan to speed up the process. This is handy dandy. Get this on Amazon. So it helps speed up your makeup process. Another setting spray that I love is this Creolon Professional Makeup Spray. You can get this on Camera Ready Cosmetics online. This will help your makeup stay on your face all day. I don't need it to stay on my face all day, so I'm not gonna spray it this time, but if you were going outside to like brunch or something and you're outdoors, we're in Florida, it's super hot out, so this would be good for you to have to spray all over your face. Another thing that people like to use is this one here. This is gonna be your one size Until Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. You can use this as well to set on top of your MAC Fix Plus. If you don't have MAC Fix Plus, another good one is gonna be your Charlotte Tilbury, and you'll use this in place of your MAC Fix Plus spray. So everything, I think, looks pretty dry. So this is the finished look. I hope that this was easy to follow along. Oh, actually, not the finished look. We forgot to apply mascara. So now that we've set our face and we've done everything, we're gonna apply mascara to our bottom lashes. Just take your time with this, because you don't want it to mess up the rest of your face. And that is why I do the eyes first. This is the only part of the eyes that I do last. Just take your time Apply as much as you like. I think that much is good. And we're all done. I want to thank you guys for tuning into my video. I hope that this was easy enough for you guys to follow along. This is just a quick little brunch, everyday kind of look. Well, I do this every day. This is my everyday makeup look. So if I'm going anywhere, I'm stepping out and I have no idea what to do, this is kind of the routine now. So I'm gonna link everything that I used down in the description box. Hopefully it was easy for you guys to follow along. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Lily, girl. I have to wash my hands to get all this makeup off my fingers. And I'm getting hungry. I need to get some food.